Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope that you're all doing well. Welcome back to our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is Pauline's number 7. All right, so let's get this show on the road, shall we? So the number one question that I got on last week's video was if we can talk about Louis Vuitton's recent price increase. Now, I do realize that this discussion might be a little bit longer than most, so if you want to skip ahead to question number 2, I will put a timestamp on the description box below. All right, so when it comes to yet another Louis Vuitton price increase, I feel like it came out of left field. It completely caught me by surprise for a couple of different reasons. The number one being that they had a price increase not too long ago. Number 2, you constantly hear about quality control and diminishing quality, and instead of maybe taking the opportunity to maybe fine-tune that, instead they decide to increase the prices, which raises the question, does the quality warrant the price? And number 3, the fact that they are increasing prices at a worldwide dark time just completely blew my mind. I do have a soft spot for Louis Vuitton, but I personally don't think it was the best time to raise prices, especially because it feels like it's so out of touch. It feels like it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And, you know, I understand that they are a luxury company, and I'm not trying to make excuses for them by any means whatsoever, but during the current situation, I think it's a hard pill to swallow. You know, and on that same note, like I said before, they are a luxury company. So it is possible that they're trying to balance out and make up for any lost sales because of what's going on. And yes, they do have e-commerce, and I do think that that's definitely helped them out in terms of sales. But at the same time, there are a lot of people that prefer to go into the boutique. They prefer to try on their items before they move forward. Or maybe they had a bad experience when it came to buying online, or maybe they just don't want to go through the hoops of having to return it if it doesn't end up working out via mail. That could be a possibility, you know? So it's just, like I said, it came out of left field. It totally caught me by surprise. And it also makes me think of maybe they're taking the opportunity. Maybe it makes me wonder if they're trying to make that gap even bigger, try to become more exclusive and try to become a lot less accessible. We've heard it in the past that Louis Vuitton has a perfect client in mind. And with that perfect client, they want to distance themselves from any other type of clients that they might end up having, you know? But I definitely, I can definitely understand how someone can be heartbroken, especially when it's a brand that you hold in such high regard, a brand that you are so fond of, a brand that you are extremely loyal to, that they constantly want to build that gap, you know, and become a lot more exclusive and become a lot less accessible. And they want to be in Hermes, and they want to rival Chanel as well. So it's just, it's kind of crazy. You know, it's definitely kind of crazy. And I feel like even though Louis Vuitton might have a perfect client in mind, the non-perfect clients, I feel, do make up a large portion of their sales, their impressive sales year after year. And if it wasn't for those thousands of transactions of the items that they end up buying, I don't think Louis Vuitton's canvas would reign supreme. Yes, I do realize that Louis Vuitton has other items and they do have other materials besides canvas, but let's be honest, they are known for their canvas worldwide. So maybe it wouldn't reign supreme if it wasn't for those thousands of transactions that are going through. You know, I don't know. But I'm definitely not trying to sit here and bash them and be the bad guy or anything like that. I'm trying to see things both ways. It's very difficult because, like I said before, it does leave a bad taste in my mouth. And on that same note, good old Chanel is raising their prices as well. Last week, I heard that it was going to be the 11th of May. As of this recording, it was going to be the 25th of May. So by the time you guys see this, you will know if it ends up happening or not. Last week, I heard it was going to be 17%. This morning, I heard it was going to be up to 12% on all of their classics, their handbags, their small leather goods, wallet on chains, what have you. You know, but the craziest thing for me when it comes to Chanel is that the majority of their boutiques aren't even open. They're not even open, and they don't even have e-commerce. I feel like this is where Chanel would benefit greatly from e-commerce. So maybe it's time, Chanel, you take a look at it and maybe think about opening up a shop online, you know, and maybe they're trying to do the same thing as Louis Vuitton. They're trying to cover the losses of what they're having, because you do hear that a lot of the factories where these items are being made are in hotspots, and they're not being able to produce as much as before. So again, maybe they're trying to cover, or they're trying to balance out the numbers. But with Chanel, yeah, I was like, okay, I was surprised. I was totally taken back when it came to Louis Vuitton, but I was just blown out of the water when it came to Chanel, because I was like, they are not even open. And if it is the 25th that they do raise the prices, you know, I feel like the majority of shops might be open then, and maybe that's what they're waiting for. But if it is the 25th, I do appreciate the heads up. That much I can tell you. Instead of Louis Vuitton that just decided to just silently put in those price increases in there, I don't know. You know, but like I said, maybe they're trying to be a lot more exclusive. Maybe they're trying to compete very hard with Hermes, and they're trying to be a lot less accessible to their non-perfect clients. It could be possible, but Louis Vuitton and Chanel will continue to sell items regardless of however many price increases may come. It depends on the person, it depends on their situation, it depends on the circumstances, you know. But I feel like it was just, overall, I felt it wasn't the best, especially when you see department stores and you see other brands that are offering these amazing savings, and they're lowering prices, you know, week to week or month to month to try to generate more sales instead of raising the prices, you know. So it's such a contrast between when you see luxury and then when you see just a regular brand, but like I said previously, it is a luxury fashion house, and you know, they have an image to maintain. I don't know. And I wouldn't be surprised at the rate that we're going that we might end up seeing another price increase either within the next couple of months. I'm not hoping for it by any means whatsoever. Of course, it depends on how their quarter ends up being, but still, I feel like it definitely won't surprise me. If Louis Vuitton and Chanel surprise me this time, the second time, it definitely won't surprise me, you know. But I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. What do you think about this whole price increase? Whether it's Louis Vuitton or Chanel, are you taking a break from either brand? Does it leave a bad taste in your mouth? How do you see things? Let us know in the comment section down below. Next question from Melissa Morales. Thoughts on Gucci's new Pastel collection? I'm loving the mint. All right, so before I get any further, let me insert a couple pictures of Gucci's newest collection, Towards the Sun, right now. Normally, I'm not too fond of pastels, but I absolutely love this collection. I think that the colors are so insanely beautiful. You have a variety of different products to go for. You can either go for their handbags, small leather goods, shoes, and clothing, which I think is great. 4 beautiful colors to pick from. You can either go for the pink, the yellow, the green, or the blue. Some of the pieces do have all 4 colors together. But what I really like about this collection is the fact that they incorporated the palladium hardware. They didn't go for champagne gold or age gold hardware or gold hardware. They went for the palladium. And I feel like that really ends up complementing the colors so incredibly well. And on that same note, I feel like these colors are very subtle. They're very beautiful. They're not too in your face. So if you want to go for a pop of color and you don't want to go for something that just screams, something that's not too vibrant, I think that this would be a fantastic collection to go for. And I think that this is such a fun collection. I think it's going to be very, very popular. Of course, only time will tell. And I do have my eye on a couple of items. I also end up liking the mint. But the 2 colors that speak to me the most are the baby pink, which is no surprise. And the other one is the yellow. And I didn't think I'd ever say that because normally I'm not really attracted to the color yellow, but I just really, really like the combination. Plus, I feel like usually when it comes to pops of color, I want something that's so in your face, something that's very obnoxious. But with this, I just can't help but smile every time I see the pieces that are available. So like I said, I am a big, big fan. And I would love to know, how do you guys feel about this collection? Are you a fan of it? Are you not a fan of it? Let us know in the comment section down below. I know that there are a few other fashion houses that are releasing these beautiful pastels with silver hardware, kind of like Louis Vuitton recently did. So again, I would love to know what you guys think about this collection in the comment section down below. Next question from Shamrock Girl. What bags do you hate that most love? For me, it's the Speedy. All right, so I do think that hate is a harsh word only because even if a bag isn't for me, I can always appreciate certain aspects of it. But there are three that definitely end up standing out that I'm personally not too fond of that are quite popular. The first one being Gucci Marmont, the Gucci Marmont flat bag. And it really comes down to that heart. And I know that we've talked about the heart a million times. And this bag has been very popular for quite some time, but I just cannot get past it. I feel like that heart automatically ends up dating the bag. To me, it's right up there with adding stars to it or unicorns to it. I have no idea. And I know that they have other styles that don't have the heart, but I really do like the silhouette and I do like other features about it. It's just, I can't get past that heart. I can't, you know? I've tried it on multiple times at the boutique and I'm like, oh yeah. Then I get to the heart, I'm all, no, absolutely not. I know some of you have told me, Minnie, just, you know, put it on and the heart's on the back side. You can't even see it. You're right, you can't see it, but I know it's there and that'll drive me crazy. I know, it makes no sense, right? Another one is Bottega Veneta's The Pouch. Now the pouch has become very popular over the last couple of months and I just personally I don't really get it. I do like the leather. The leather looks incredible. It looks very spacious as well. And the funny thing is that normally I end up appreciating clutches from afar, even though I always struggle with them. They don't really end up working out for my lifestyle. But with this one, I can't really get into it. I don't really see the appeal of it, but to each their own. And the third bag, I might get a lot of hate for this one. That is the Dior saddle bag. Now this bag, I often refer to it as the kidney bag. And the main reason I'm not too fond of it is because it reminds me so much of Louis Vuitton's croissant bag. And I had that bag in the past. I thought it was very, very fussy. It drove me crazy to get my items in and out of it. So that's what it automatically reminds me of it. You know, I could be wrong, but I do like the different colors that you can go for when it comes to the Dior saddle bag and the different materials, which I think is awesome. I just can't really get into it. But those are the three that, that definitely stand out the most, as I mentioned previously. But still, I feel like I can always appreciate certain aspects of a bag, even if it isn't for me. And I'm sure that I have bags in my collection that people can't stand. You hear about people hating the Neverfull, kind of like what you had mentioned about the Speedy. To me, the Neverfull is my ride or die tote. Another bag that gets a lot of negativity, poor thing, is Chanel's Reissue. You guys know that is one of my favorite bags. Poor thing, what did it ever do? But a lot of people don't like the wrinkles. They feel that it looks old, you know, which I completely understand. But ultimately, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And if you like a bag, if it speaks to you, if it makes your heart sing, then that's all that matters. Plus, I feel like it's great that we're not all carrying the same bag, that we all have different tastes because it adds a whole lot of variety into the population, right? But yeah, I would love to know what bags do you hate that most people love? Let us know in the comment section down below. Next question from Diane W. If you can bring back one Louis Vuitton bag that has been discontinued, which bag would that be and why? All right, so there are so many discontinued beauties that I wish would come back. And yes, I know they have revamped and reintroduced some of the old styles, but there is nothing like the originals. All right, so one of the bags that I wish would make a comeback is the Berkeley and Damier Azur. I think that the Berkeley is one of the most beautiful handbags, and it was also available in Damier Ebene, and I do like it in Damier Ebene, but I personally prefer it in Damier Azur. I just absolutely love the style. I like the size that it has. It was very spacious, and I can just imagine, it's definitely not the most lightweight handbag, but I can just imagine with all of that leather having this beautiful patina in combination with the Damier Azur. I just think it looks absolutely incredible. So I am a big, big fan. I remember seeing ads of this bag and I fell in love with it. I fell in love. So I can only imagine if they reintroduced it, I would be one of the happiest people. Of course, it would probably have a crazy, crazy price point just because it does have so much leather. But still, I think it would be amazing if they re-released it exactly how it was before. Now, because I want a little bit more eye candy in this video, I'm also going to share another one that I think would be fantastic if they re-released it, and that would be the Trevi PM. Now, the Trevi, this is a bag that I always, 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 always loved. It was available in the PM as well as the GM. Personally, I like the PM. Now this bag, I mean, it's Damien Ben, which you guys know is my favorite print of all time. But yes, it does have a whole lot of bells and whistles going on, but I just think that there's something about this bag that it's just so beautiful, you know, and it wasn't very lightweight either. But it just, I don't know, it just, the shape that it has, the bells and whistles maybe add to it. I have no idea. Maybe it's the Damien Ben or the gorgeous red interior, but I was always such a big fan of this bag. So those two are the ones that I think would be amazing if they decided to re-release them exactly how it was, or maybe if they wanted to make them a little bit more lightweight, maybe a little bit more user-friendly, that would be great as well. But let's be honest, there are so many discontinued pieces, so many discontinued silhouettes that Louis Vuitton has made in the past that are still insanely popular now. I mean, you still have the Eva clutch. That bag was just, up until the moment that they decided to discontinue it, it was highly sought after, you know, so that's a bag that always comes to mind as well. I used to have two in my collection. I had the Damien Ben and I also had the monogram, so that bag will always have a soft spot in my heart. But even if you go way back, I mean, they've had so many different styles that I think it would be amazing if they decided to, you know, to introduce them back into the line, or who knows, maybe 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, they might revamp them again to be a little bit more user-friendly. But it would be really nice to see some of those designs come back. But I don't know. What about you guys? What is a discontinued Louis Vuitton bag that you wish would come back? Let us know in the comment section down below. But fabulous question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Sarah L. I recently sold my Louis Vuitton Delightful PM and bought the Louis Vuitton Graceful PM and Damien Ben instead. What was the last bag you've sold to afford a new one? All right, so first and foremost, major congratulations on your Graceful. I'm very excited for you. The last bag that I sold to fund another was the Chanel Le Boy bag, kind of. Now, when I sold the Chanel Le Boy bag, at that time, I didn't have anything in mind. And the only reason why I decided to sell it is because I had come to terms with that bag. I had made my peace with it. I knew that the love-hate relationship wasn't gonna go anywhere. I took it out for one last spin so that way I didn't have seller's regret or anything like that. And I knew that if I didn't sell it when I was fully detached from it, I would have chickened out and that bag would still be sitting on my shelf today. So I ended up taking those funds and saving them away. And then a couple of months later, I started to just really get into and start obsessing over the Louis Vuitton bum bag. I started watching every possible video. I started looking at every possible picture, and I ate my words with that bag. You guys know that. So I ended up using some of the funds from the Chanel Le Boy bag to go towards the bum bag. So that's why I say kind of, because it took, like I said, I didn't have anything in mind. It was just, okay, do it now, or you're gonna regret it if you don't sell it at this point in time. But on that same note, I do get a lot of questions if I end up regretting selling the Chanel Le Boy bag. I definitely don't. When I first got that bag, I was very excited, but I also knew, there was a part of me that also knew that it really wasn't my style, and maybe I was trying to just get out of my comfort zone a little too much. I have no idea, but I definitely struggled with it. I did give it its fair shot. I mean, multiple times, because I had that bag for years. But yeah, I don't regret it at all, especially because, you know, some of the funds went towards the boy bag or the bum bag, and I absolutely love that bag. It's one of my most used, and I have so much fun with it. A lot more fun than I ever had when it came to the Chanel Le Boy bag. So that's the one. It was the Le Boy bag for the bum bag for sure. But I would love to know, what's the last bag that you guys sold to fund another bag? Let us know in the comment section down below. But great question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. And the last question from Eileen Formans, hopefully I said that correctly. Do you know anything about the Louis Vuitton French company made bags made from 1970 to 1990? The bags are so vintage and they are beautiful. Can you share your thoughts? All right, so I could be wrong, so please don't quote me on it. But in the 1970s, Louis Vuitton was insanely popular. I mean, it had been for decades, right? Unfortunately, because of that same popularity, it couldn't keep up with production. So it reached out to the French company here in the United States to help them to produce pieces. They sent them their canvas and the rest is history. All of the pieces did have a tab on the inside that said manufactured by the French company, USA, under special license. And some of the items did have slightly different features to those from Louis Vuitton, kind of like the Speedy. The Speedy had a different lock and it also had leather along the bottom and a few other details. But for me personally, I am a big fan of these items just because there is so much history. The fact that they were made for a brief moment in time, I feel just adds to it. The fact that you have a French company and you have a prestigious French company and you have a prestigious American company coming together to make these items, I think is absolutely fantastic. Now, oddly enough, these items don't seem to be as sought after and they don't seem to be as popular as regular Louis Vuitton items. I mean, I get it. You just want a regular Louis Vuitton piece, but at the same time, because they were made for a brief moment, I feel like it would make them that much more valuable, you know, but I know not everyone shares my opinion. But I kind of see them like a collectible that has different packaging than what it's supposed to have, a collectible that has a misspelled word or something to that effect that I think just adds, you know, adds a little bit more beauty, adds a lot more history to it, and something that I can definitely end up appreciating, you know. So I am a big fan, you know. And like I said previously, I know not everyone shares my opinion, but I do have to say that the age that these items have just speaks to the quality and the craftsmanship of these pieces. You know what I mean? It's that good material, it's that good craftsmanship that you just don't see as much nowadays. You know, but I would love to know, how do you guys feel about the French company Louis Vuitton pieces? Are you a fan? Do you have any? Are you looking to add some to your collection? Are you not a fan? Whatever the case may be, let us know in the comment section down below. But great question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. I don't know if you can tell, but I cut my hair. I cut my own hair. And are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. I cut my hair with crafting scissors. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Crafting scissors. I don't have regular hair cutting scissors. I mean, I never thought I'd cut my own hair. So I decided to go with crafting scissors because I felt like they were maybe a little bit sturdier and something that might get through my thick hair. I don't know, but I think it came out pretty all right. Although it looks like this side is a little bit longer than this one, and I've started to kind of try to fix it, but I fear that if I continue to do that, then this side will end up being shorter than this one, and then I'll end up just getting a buzz cut. I don't know, but I did it. I was so nervous when I decided to do it. I had the scissors in my hand, I was over the sink, and I just kept complaining about the weight of it. I was like, you know what, I can't do it anymore. Every time I worked out, my hair would go underneath, you know, underneath my arms, even if it was in a ponytail, what have you. It was driving me nuts. So I was like, I had my fingers as a guide, and I just sat there and I'm like, just do it, just do it, just do it. And I went for it. And after I did it, I started freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? What did I do? But then I was like, okay, calm down. It's not the end of the world. It is just hair. It is gonna grow back. And when everything opens up, they can fix it. But for now, this is my haircut. Not too bad, right? Not too. Have any of you guys cut your own hair? Let me know in the comment section down below. I thought about using the semi-permanent or semi-permanent hair color because these guys are getting out of control. But I think I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. We all look, you know, we all have roots growing out or our funky hair. So I don't know. I just figured just leave it the way that it is until everything opens up. But anywho, that was a little side story for you. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.